Hey guys, question we oftentimes get is how do I get my first rental? Well, first off, I'm a tax attorney with over 200 units myself nationwide. My clients do real estate investing extensively. We have tens of thousands. I have over 250 employees here, and this is what we do. So we're experts in this area. So just to lay that down, I'll just tell you from what I see, and I'm going to caution you a little bit. When you're getting your first rental property, make sure that you have a little bit of cash put aside for the unexpected because there's going to be challenges no matter what at some point in your life, and you want to be prepared for them. When I teach a course that I teach called Infinity Investing, I always tell people to start off doing stocks and securities because it's very liquid. I could get that cash quickly, and we don't buy typical stock market stuff. We treat our stock market like just like real estate. We want income producing, and they don't move much. So we don't have to worry about big swings in the market. So we're pretty liquid, and we try to build up at least 50,000 before we go over into the real estate side. Once we've done that, then we cross over into the real estate. And a lot of people immediately think I have to go out and get a rental property. Now, I'm not going to say not to do that. I'm just going to say that most people are taught to look in their local area and they're looking for rental real estate. And I'm just going to caution you that quite often where we live is not the best place to be buying the rental real estate because the numbers are too high. So for example, if I live in an area where the average price, let's say I'm in Las Vegas right now, it was $330,000 last month. That's the median price. And so it's like, oh, that's a really high price. So maybe I can get a rental property for 200,000, right? And maybe we use the rule of 1%, which these folks like to use. It's $2,000 a month coming in on rental. You can expect to receive cash from that rental about half of that rent because you have property taxes, you have insurance, you have property management, you have other expenses like repairs, you have vacancy rate, and you have something called CapEx, which means you're going to have to replace the roof every so often. You're going to have to replace air conditioners. You're going to have to replace the carpeting, paint the walls, and all those things. And so you have to be budgeting for those things. And it's about 50%, which means that $2,000 a month really means I'm bringing in $1,000 a month. And that $200,000 house bringing in $12,000 a year means you're bringing in about 6%, which all of a sudden not so shiny anymore, right? You're looking at, I could get 6% on some of the stocks that we have just on the dividend. So then you're going, well, do I really want to go down that path? And that's where I caution people and say the real sweet spot is real estate closer to the $100,000 range where we don't have wild swings. And so your first property, I would say you want to save up for, and if you can, please buy that first property with cash. If you possibly can, and buy in that, really it's the $70,000 to $120,000 range. And if you don't believe they exist, just contact us because they absolutely exist because I buy them every single week. We go around and our clients do, everybody, like there's great areas of the country with with increasing populations, with great numbers, where the real estate market has not been hot because it's not on the coast or it's not one of those areas where we've had huge companies move in and all of a sudden cause a housing crunch. It's just gradually increasing. Those are usually outside of the big cities and they're just cash cows, meaning that they just keep paying you year after year without a lot of turnover. What you see in a lot of the big cities is you see people, they're in a rental and they move out every year. And every year you have to go fix it up. You have to repaint it, put new carpeting in it. You're going to be $3,000 every year out of your pocket just to keep that thing occupied. You're having to pay a property manager this, or you're doing it yourself. And I would caution you against doing amateur property management. There's too many potholes. There's too many problems that can occur where you face real legal liability if you make a mistake, that it's better just to let professionals do it and to work with people that's what they do. I call it staying in your own lane. Tax guy, right? I stay in my lane. I invest like crazy in real estate. I'm not going to sit there and manage your properties, but I will tell you what the successful people do because I see their taxes. And the successful people know enough to say, hey, here's how I should actually be handling this. So your first property is keep it to where you're going a little more on the inexpensive side. That means you're going to be in the BC range. Don't go D properties. If you don't know what that means, again, click on the link and learn as much as you can from us before you invest. We'll push you in touch with people that do this stuff day in and day out, and they can explain it. You really want to be in that B minus, worst case scenario, C plus range in a city that is steady Eddie, to where you're going to know, like, hey, I can get into this property and the landlord knows it. They've been managing it for 30 years or 20 years or 10 years. Some cases, we have tenants that have been in there for 30 years. You know exactly what you're getting before you walk in, as opposed to that speculation where you're rolling the dice and all of a sudden you find yourself with a problem. And so for your first one, especially, because the last thing we'd want is for you to go out there in your first investment in such a great area and you have a negative experience and never do it again. And it was simply because you bought the wrong type of rental. So the first time you go in, I'm just going to say, make sure you have plenty of cash up front, save up for it. If you do have to lever it, then we want to make sure we crunch the numbers so that you have plenty of extra cash. You might be going 30% total or maybe 25% of the total rents, which means the debt service you pay on interest is a max 25 to 30% of the rents coming in. So if you're bringing in $2,000 a month, the maximum amount of debt service you'd be paying is $500 to $600. And we really don't want to do that. We're really going to be pushing you towards the smaller properties. And then you just save up. And when you do that, you avoid so many issues. And there's something extremely liberating about not having debt on properties. And I'll just tell you, it feels fantastic. So if you want to learn more, by all means, click on the link and certainly we'll assist you in any way we can. And again, how do I get in the real estate market? I'll just leave it at this: carefully.